What's up, fellas? Welcome to the garage. Well, the Ford Scorpio's time has come. I have to tidy up a little around the house here, and I have to put this one into parts as well and get rid of the shell. I never intended to make this Scorpio a project of mine anyway, and I did actually bought it for parts in the first place. Here, of course, we have 2.9 liter Cologne engine with very low mileage. This hasn't even got 150,000 kilometers, so this is very low for such engine. It has been converted to run LPG gas at some point. Here we have this kind of nozzles on the intake, but I'm not really worried about that. The engine runs perfectly fine, so I really doubt that those caused any damage or anything. This one also has air conditioning system. As you can see here, this is the compressor. Here we got the condenser. And yeah, who knows, I might actually mess around with it and try putting it in the Sierra. But no promises there. I'll see how much space remains in the engine bay once I put the turbo in there. It also has cruise control, which we see here. We got two cables here on the accelerator. And one, it is actually for cruise control. Here we got some sort of an actuator or something. We'll get into that a bit later. But anyways, to put this apart, the course of action is just the same as on the Sierra. First, we just clean around the engine, just remove everything that's attached to it. Then, of course, we have to remove the prop shaft, which I've already done here, as you can see. Pull this one out. The rear end here is a bit thicker in comparison to Sierra. Yeah, I just checked, and this one is actually 13 millimeters thicker than the standard Sierra one, which makes sense because this car is quite heavier than the Sierra. Underneath here we also have this standard bracket that holds the transmission on, and that's actually it here in the rear. In the front we'll just remove the wheels and also here the shocks, and the same thing as with the Sierra, we'll just drop the whole thing down. Alright, so I've pretty much set it all up. I'm sure I have forgot to plug something off, but we'll see as we go. I got one lift right here, pushing on the subframe, and here in the back, one little lift I got supporting the gearbox. From the inside, I've just removed all around here this gear shift knob, so that's all nice and free. And now I'm gonna actually remove the remaining bolts holding the subframe on the chassis. Then I will start slowly putting the whole engine, gearbox and the subframe combo down, while observing what cables and whatnot I have forgot to unplug. So let's just start slowly and attentively putting the whole thing down. Okay, now let's lower this gearbox down as well, just a little. Okay, I've lowered the gearbox a little. Now let's lower the engine some more. Okay, quick check around here, all nice and good. This is the speedo cable. Okay, we have to remove the clutch cable. I thought I could remove it, you know, like once the engine is out, but it is a bit too short. So let me remove that down there. Oh ja.
Ja, for det bra.
Šta ne boš utrgala, na šafa?
A to še pustim, da?
Ja, lahko dva, pa se prek strane.
Ok, sam mečko njih odvija.
Are you filming for the people at home? Evo na. Alright, so I'm just carrying on with the Scorpio disassembly here. I didn't want to bore you too much with me piecing this thing apart. However, I did find a couple of interesting things I wasn't even aware of before. So check this out. This here was sitting in this place somewhere. And yeah, at first glance, this looks kind of like a mini compressor of some sorts. And indeed, we do have this little hose going to the back of the car. We also have a couple of a bit bigger hoses here, but they were kind of chewed up and I didn't manage to find out where they were going. Following this line in the back of the car, I actually noticed that here, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. So these shock absorbers actually have a kind of a nipple here, or kind of a, see that? So this is the little hose that goes on each of the shock absorbers. So this will be interesting to see what it actually does, you know. We might have some sort of a pneumatic suspension system on our hands here. So this will be interesting. Another system that was kind of interesting to me was the cruise control system. It essentially consists of this cable which comes attached just the same as the throttle cable on the throttle butterfly on the engine. And here, check this out. Nothing but a nipple. This is like a membrane here. And this is kind of squishy, soft, you see? And what I'm getting at here is that the cruise control is actually controlled by vacuum. There was a bunch of hoses here of different colors. You see, red, yellow, and yeah, red and yellow. And those were actually connected to this, of course. And then this actuator or something here. And those hoses were, interestingly enough, also connected to the brake pedal switch and also the throttle pedal switch. So that was also quite interesting. There was an electrical switch, but it also had that nipple for the vacuum. So that was also a first for me. So what else do we got here? So as you can see, I've done a pretty good job of stripping everything away. We do have this big bunch of electrical system here, which I will be saving. Maybe someone will use it someday. And then I have to remove the sunroof and the windscreen and also the back window here. Also, this might be the car with the easiest to remove doors. Check this out, it's only got those two hinges and you just put them on just like regular doors in the house. So that was easy. Well, of course, I did have to remove that door limiter before and also the stack of cables here, but that was it. So now I'm just gonna carry on. I'll have to pull this wiring loom out. Also, those speakers seem quite interesting, kind of old school, square type. It also has this high tone speakers here. I might use this system in the Sierra. I got that doors to remove as well, and then I will get to the rear subframe. Oh, another very interesting thing. Check this out. This brake servo is both vacuum powered, but also electronically assisted. See here, this is an electro motor and it goes in between here on the master cylinder. So this is also very peculiar. However, I'm not gonna bother too much with it. On the Sierra, I'm going to install something more simple, and this one will go for sale. Maybe some Scorpio owner will want it.